to get the back off this watch, the basic problem I've got is I can't get enough torque, turning power, to actually release these watches using other tools, because they're digging into some fairly tight keys here. So what I'm going to use is a good old-fashioned spanner onto a great big nut. So the first thing we need to do is to super glue the nut onto the back of the watch. So before we do that, we have to degrease them both thoroughly. So I've got just one of these little cleaning alcohol soaked wipes, and I'm going to use that to clean off the nut and the watch. Both of these, the nut has actually got quite a flat profile, that's quite important, so that when I mount it there's going to be a good contact area between the two. Okay, so first of all we need to degrease it, and then obviously allow that to dry. If there's any sign of grease or dirt on these, then obviously the super glue is not going to stick. Okay, so I've got a little tube of the super glue. These have been washed and dried. So as per the instructions on the super glue, protect the working area, and then if we just put a little bead of super glue round, take that away, and then we want to mount that nut as central as we can. Just press it down a little bit and then leave it and let it cure. I've left that to cure now overnight, so that's on really tight. Obviously now you've got the option to use whacking great big spanner, so I can get plenty of torque on there, and obviously I need to hold the watch to counter the torque. A couple of ways you can do it. You can either get hold of another set of spanners. If you can take the bracelet off, ideal. This one's a little bit fiddly, so I'm going to try and do it with the bracelet still on. If you are going to use something like these mole wrenches, make sure that you cover the ends up with plenty of PVC insulation tape, because obviously you don't want to damage the strap. And even actually if you've just got plain smooth-sided spanner to hold it, again a little bit of tape on there will just prevent any damage to the watch. If you've got a watch vise, that's great. I don't have one, so actually I'm going to put this into a workmate that I've got outside, and that'll hold it against some wood, which is quite nice because that won't scratch either. Okay, so I'm going to just take this outside and we can get going on it. I've mounted it in the vise, and now for the moment of truth. I found an old 19mm spanner. It should do this one, and now I can just put a little bit of torque on that, and there we go, I've released it. Okay, so now that's got the back off the watch. Obviously the next thing now is to remove the nut from the watch. Okay, so that's good, at least that's worked. Right, now we've released the watch, so the back now comes off. Of course the elephant in the room is that we've now got a great big nut super glued to the back, but we do have access to the watch, so I can now look at the battery and start changing the battery on this one. Obviously this is a solar powered watch, so it's a little bit of an unusual rechargeable battery, not your standard ones. Okay, so we need to get the nut off the back of the case. To do this, we've got a gasket on the watch, so make sure we take that off first, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop that into a little container. The smaller it is, the better. And then we need something to get rid of the super glue, or at least to debond the super glue. Chemically, they'll say it's acetone. What that is in reality is just nail polish remover. So I've poured a little bit predominantly into the centre of that nut. There's far more in there than you need, but that'll do the job. Again, now it's just a question of a waiting game, so I'm going to leave that for a few hours. What I will do is I'll just put a little bit of cling film over the top of it, just so that the fumes don't evaporate off, but it keeps all the acetone in. Right, it's been soaking for a few hours now. I've also put it on the radiator just to get it nice and warm. So take it out. Let's see if the acetone's done its job. So what I've got here is just a little watch knife. Let's just see if I can prise it in and prise the nut off. There we go. Right, the nut is off. There's a little bit of super glue there, which is still soft. I'm going to put that back in, and that will fairly soon dissolve. Actually, let's just see if I can take that off straight away with cotton bud. Yeah, that's just that come out. So there we go. Just a little bit of residue still there, but I'll get that out. Off a little bit. Okay, so that's the easy way to do it. Quite a few steps there, but if your back of the watch is really stuck on and the normal tools don't work, then that's the method I found that actually can remove the really stubborn watches. As I said, that watch had, because it's a solar powered one, the back had been on it for 15 years. So that's great. Okay, thank you for watching.